The 3-2 from Keller.
Oh, no!
DJ Wayburn just bailed out Keller and Bogart's no.
In October, when entire seasons hang on a single pitch, one call can change everything. And during the 2025 postseason, the strike zone became part of the story. A strike 3 call ended a late rally in the wild card round, and in the World Series, borderline calls sparked debate in its biggest moments. Because in baseball, the most important call in the sport is still decided by one person. But here's what nobody is talking about. That might not just be changing, it might be ending. For over 100 years, the strike zone has been baseball's invisible battlefield. Every pitch, every at-bat, every championship moment, decided by a human being. Missed calls, arguments, ejections, blown games. That was just baseball. But today, the sport is closer than ever to eliminating that reality entirely. It's called ABS, the Automated Ball Strike System. And most people think it's just a small upgrade, a way to fix a few bad calls and make the game a little more accurate, but that's not what this is. Because once you let a computer take over the strike zone, you've already made the most important decision. You've decided that humans are optional, and baseball has no idea what it just opened the door to. So let's start with the basics. ABS uses a network of high-speed cameras installed around the stadium to track every single pitch, from the moment it leaves the pitcher's hand all the way to home plate. The system calculates the exact three-dimensional location of the ball down to the fractions of an inch, and the moment it crosses the plate, the computer knows instantly, ball or strike. No guessing, no framing tricks, no limitations of human eyesight. Now here's how MLB is rolling it out. The home plate umpire still makes the original call, but if a pitcher, catcher, or batter disagrees, they tap their helmet, and the challenge goes to the machine. Within seconds, the true pitch location appears on the video board. If the umpire was wrong, the call flips immediately. Each team gets 2 challenges per game. Win a challenge, and you keep it. Lose a challenge, and it's gone. On the surface, that sounds reasonable, right? The umpire is still there, the human is still in charge. But think about what's actually happening. You've just told 30,000 people in the stadium and millions watching at home that the umpire might be wrong. And every single time the board overturns a call, you're proving it. Now here's where it gets wild, because ABS just doesn't affect umpires. It wipes out an entire skill set that teams have spent millions of dollars building around. Catcher framing. For years, elite catchers have created enormous value by subtly receiving a pitch in a way that influences the umpire's call. We're not talking about cheating, this is a legitimate art form, a skill that separates good catchers from great ones. How much does it matter? Well, according to Baseball Savant data, the best framers in the league generate somewhere between 20 and 30 extra strikes per 1,000 pitches. Spread that across a full season, we're talking about thousands of pitches, and those stolen strikes can be worth multiple wins above replacement. Will Smith, Austin Wells, Cal Riley, guys who have contributed immensely because of this one skill. In a world with full ABS, that skill is worthless overnight. You don't need a framer anymore, you need a blocker, a thrower, and a bat. An entire chapter of baseball strategy gone. Just like that. And that's just catchers. Now think about pitchers who have thrived for years by attacking the edges of the zone, trusting that a well-located borderline pitch will get the call from a human ump who's been watching all game. Under ABS, the edge is exact. You either hit it or you don't. There's no benefit of the doubt anymore. The game isn't just being made more accurate, it's being rebuilt from the inside out. Because the strike zone doesn't just decide at-bats, it shapes entire seasons. Studies from the Umpire Scorecards, a site that grades every home plate umpire using StatCast data, found that in a typical game, umpires miss somewhere between 10 and 20 pitch calls. 10 to 20 calls per game, 162 games per team. That's potentially thousands of incorrect calls per season, changing at-bats, innings, and outcomes. Now multiply that across a pennant race. One bad call in September doesn't just end a rally, it can end a season. A tighter zone means more walks, more runs, higher scoring. A wider zone means less strikeouts, less offense, pitchers dominate. Even the smallest shift across 2,430 regular season games reshapes careers, contracts, and Hall of Fame cases. So yes, accuracy does matter. But here's the question nobody wants to answer. If accuracy is the goal, why stop at balls and strikes? Because this is where the conversation gets uncomfortable. Right now, ABS only handles the strike zone. But the same cameras that track pitches, they track everything. They know if a fielder's foot left the bag before the catch. They know if a tag was applied before the runner's hand touched the base. They know if a ball was fair or foul within millimeters. The technology to automate every call in baseball already exists. It's already in the stadium. So once fans get used to seeing bad calls corrected on the Jumbotron, once they experience a postseason moment where ABS overturns a strike three call that would have ended the series, how long before someone asks the obvious question, why are we still leaving the other calls to humans? And that's when things change forever. Picture this. I want you to really think about it. No umpires on the field. Every out called automatically, displayed on the video board, announced through the speakers. The catcher fires to second, safe or out, the system decides. The ball rolls down the line, fair or foul, the system decides. The tag is applied, the play at the plate, the system decides. Perfect accuracy, 0 arguments, 0 ejections. No Lou Piniella kicking dirt, no Ozzie Guillen losing his mind, no manager storming out of the dugout. Just correct calls. Is that better baseball? Or is it a completely different sport wearing baseball's uniform? Because here's what I keep coming back to. Baseball has always sold itself on something no other sport can offer. The human drama of athletic competition. The bad call that costs your team the World Series, that story lives forever. Your grandfather tells it, your dad tells it, you tell it. Almost every Cardinal fan probably tells it. It becomes part of the game. Game 6, 1985. One of the most infamous calls in baseball history, a play that cost Cardinals fans another World Series. That moment happened because of human error, and it became one of the most memorable moments in sports history. You erase human error, and you also erase a certain kind of storytelling that has made baseball feel alive for over a century. Now, baseball has adapted before. Night games once felt unnatural, replay review once felt impossible, the pitch clock once felt unthinkable. The game survived all of it. But there's a difference between adapting and replacing the soul of something. Umpires aren't just officials, they're characters, they're history, and they're a part of why the game feels human. And once you start replacing them with speakers and screens, I'm not sure you get that back. Look, I'm not saying ABS is bad. Better accuracy is genuinely good for the sport. Pitchers and hitters deserve a consistent, fair zone. But let's stop pretending that this is just a small tweak. ABS isn't a patch, it's a precedent. The moment baseball decided a computer could overrule an umpire, it answered the most important question in sports officiating. Accuracy matters more than humanity, and once you accept that, the rest is just a timeline. 5 years from now, 10, the umpires behind the plate are gone. The ones on the bases are gone. Every call comes from a machine. Baseball will be more accurate than it has ever been in 150 years of its history. And it will feel like something is missing. Something you can't quite name. Something that used to stand behind home plate and make you furious, and somehow made you love the game even more. So the real question isn't whether ABS is coming, it's already here. The question is what comes next, because right now baseball is standing at a fork in the road. Down one path, a perfectly accurate sport, every call right, and every play decided by data. Down the other, the game your grandfather watched, imperfect, human, and real. But the scary part? Baseball has already chosen, they just haven't told you yet.